Why must we take responsibility? And what does that have to do with a man coming along that will be made in fashion for the people? Matter of fact, the people is the one that birthed the man, because he comes out of their loneliness, and what they're yearning for is freedom and liberation and truth and justice. So then when the man comes on the scene, what you gonna do? It couldn't have been in the time and period where our people was fighting for justice, because they didn't get it. I'm talking about in the 50s and 60s. You had good leaders that had came up, and they all gave you a spark of what that man would be like. And so when you look at the COINTELPRO program of J. Edgar Hoover, he knew that none of them men was the one. He knew Farrakhan wasn't the one. He knew Malcolm wasn't the one. He knew Martin Luther King wasn't the one. He knew Elijah Muhammad wasn't the one. He knew that Noble Drew Ali wasn't the one. He knew Dr. York wasn't the one. He knew Yahweh Ben Yahweh wasn't the one. He knew Rabbi Ben Ami wasn't the one. Must I go on? He knew none of those men were the one. But he said, if you look, they know the telling of the stars. See, you don't fell out of that tradition. If I tell you to look up in the sky and tell me what time it is, you can't tell me. But at the end of the age, where there will be a new dawning of a new order that will come on the planet, they say you will be able to tell by wars and rumors of wars. You will tell by false prophets and false teachers that would deceive the people. They would deceive them with a false religion and saying that Christ or the Messiah or the Savior have already arrived on the scene, but the people is still suffering in their condition. So the man could not have come. The man has to come. You have to put it in the present tense, because if this is a past tense, that means then the man has failed at his job and didn't complete the job. Can I get a witness? You can't tell me, even if there was a Jesus that was born 2,000 years ago, you can't tell me that that man was the Christ or Messiah. I don't care what name you give him. You can even give him my name. But how can he be the one? When when they say, they analyzing his birth, and they say he was born between 6 and 4 BC. So if he was born before Christ, how can he be the one? How did he grow up in Nazareth in the 1st century, and Nazareth wasn't even a city on the world map until the 4th century AD? Talk to me. How can there be prisons? How can there be jails? This man spoke about that stuff. That's impossible. How can he speak about European currency? He mentioned talent. That's where you got them. You have to know words. You have to know the history. Because then if you go into looking up what talent is, that is a European currency that came way after Jesus, they say, exists. That'll let you know the time it was written. So when you got jails, prisons, this is a new phenomenon that has been occurring for the last, and let's give it not even 200 years. The prison industry, you can go and look up prisons, and the world's most authority on prisons ain't even 170 years old. The world's foremost authority in building prisons, construction, and running them is only not even 200 years old. Maybe we pushing it maybe about 170 years. I was just looking up this a few weeks ago. So what the hell you mean he would cast you into prison? That's what he says in the New Testament. So either a man has to come on the scene while while there are prisons and talk like that, or if you're talking about somebody that already existed and he mentioned things that wasn't intervention at that time, then you have to say then that, oh, then that person didn't live, because this is when the stuff is on the scene while this man is gone. You have to grow up and take responsibility. I don't care what story they give you. You have to grow up and take responsibility. We have to quit lying to ourselves. If somebody says a truth and it turns out to be false, I don't care if it's Noble Drew Ali, I don't care if it's Elijah Muhammad, I don't care if it's Farrakhan, I don't care who it is. I don't care if it's Ben Amin. A lie is a lie. And if you lie one time, and then I caught you a second time, oh, you out of gas with me. And everything that you say after that, I have to study now. I have to look into it. There ain't no man that came before me that have told you the truth like I have told you. Nobody. Nobody. They were all thieves and robbers, and they left you in this condition. They told you about gods, new gods that came on the scene. They didn't connect you with nothing ancient. They came with new gods. And you have inherited lies. But that's why you're in the condition that you're in, and you refuse to let go the lie. You refuse to let go of that mythological story that you assume that's real history. You have to grow up and take responsibility. If somebody in their government, if they promised you equal education, equal employment, equal house, and you ain't got that, you need to grow up and take responsibility. Stop begging somebody to do something for you when you can get up off your backside and do it for yourself. You have to take responsibility. No matter who you vote for, you ain't going to never get no peace, because you don't have a nation of your own, so anybody could come and spit on you, kick you, rob you of your money, and leave you in a desolate condition, broke, while they send their money back home to help up build up their infrastructure at home. Am I lying or am I telling the truth? I don't care if it's Arab, Indian, African, Korean, Polish, Jewish, European, whatever. They all have done it to you, black man and woman. They've done it to you. Why would they want to do it to you? Because they're exploiting what happened to you. Because you are so dumb in your condition. You're so blind in your condition. You can't speak effectively in order to bring about what you need to bring about. You can't do it. And you're unproductive. So they style you when the man comes as Lazarus, dead. Lazy are us. That's what Lazarus means. Lazy are us. He's laying there unproductive. Fool, get up and get busy. Your sole obligation and what you should be doing at this time is nation building with me, so that you can leave a legacy for your children. You could alter history right now based on what